Good morning, friends. I want to say welcome and good morning. And if you're getting coffee, keep getting your coffee. And thanks to the team who are, wow, Dr. Cosby is helping distribute more chairs. There are also seats up front for anyone who wants them. It got very quiet, so I'll take that as a sign that folks are prepared to pray. The Lord be with you. Almighty God, we give you such great thanks for those disciples of Jesus who you have called together to be part of this parish, the Chapel of the Cross, as we seek to serve you in this moment in time. We ask your blessing on this meeting and the work into which you call us in the coming year. In Jesus' name, amen. I would formally call us to order. And then I can go to the next slide too. Hey, we're in order. We have prayed, done those things in reverse order. And we will now move. Someone will move to help elect our vestry class of 2026.
Vestry by acclamation. Move to elect the 4 nominees for vestry by acclamation.
Okay, I heard a number of seconds. All in favor? Any opposed? Yay! Yay, vestry. Who's here that's in our new vestry class? Stand up and smile and wave. There's Anita. I saw Alan in the back and Catherine. Yay! Thank you all. All right, I'm going to turn over the microphone to our senior warden, Roman Perrin.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, on this bright and sunny Sunday morning, a little different than last week. I'd like to start by thanking you for a year of congregational vitality and rebirth. As I touched on last week, one of the diocesan priorities is congregational rebirth, and we certainly leaned into that this year and were able to embrace that priority. We learned from listening sessions as far as what was important not only to the vestry but also to the parish. So we learned and heard clearly that people matter, relationships matter. This sacred space matters, which drove our parish priorities as well as our vestry priorities. And you see that in how we plan our programming and how we plan our budget and how we go about our daily operations. We welcomed new clergy and lay staff. We welcomed Reverend Keith Esposito, who was ordained here in December, which is a wonderful, wonderful service. Moetu Naka, as well as Jeff Crawford, our communications manager. So if they're here, if they could, well, we know Keith and Moetu, but and I know Jeff is probably behind the curtain making sure that all of this goes well. I would commend the annual report to you It is amazing, and as the vestry, we got a sneak peek at the annual report. It is absolutely amazing to see how robust our programming and outreach is, not only here in Chapel Hill, but nationally and globally. It is absolutely amazing, and I will not go into painful detail with that. The annual report does such a great job. I was actually talking with Anita right before the meeting here. 30 tons of organic food waste over the last 3 years through our efforts. That is just one piece of the pie, and it's no pun intended. It is absolutely amazing. I would be remiss if I did not offer appreciation for our wonderful clergy, our lay staff, our vestry, and our volunteers. That without our volunteers, the volunteers really are the engine that make this place run and make it hum. I would like to acknowledge the outgoing vestry as well. Here. Annie Craver. Amy Daubert. Terry Eason. And Meg Fornoy. When we talk about volunteers, I would like to especially acknowledge a very special volunteer. Nancy Kelly, for over 30 years, has been our vestry clerk. So 30 years of dealing with the vestry is an amazing accomplishment and an amazing survival skill. Nancy, thank you. Thank you. Tying in with Congregational Vitality, we had such a successful annual campaign. I'd like to thank Chip and Mary Kent Hill, the Stewardship Committee, and again, the army of volunteers that did anything that they were asked to do, phone calls, production of artifacts, etc., and a wildly successful ABC sale that contributed into our Congregational Vitality. And certainly, last but not least, our Cassavant Organ Project. Brian and others presented about that a few weeks back. We have exciting times that are underway in regards to our Cassavant organ. And just really quick, again, the organ is scheduled to be installed in the spring and summer of 2024 with our new programming year to kick off in the fall of 2024 with that new organ as we move forward with exciting new programs for our music program. So wonderful congregational vitality in regards to that. Rebirth. Interesting, right? I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the energy that came with returning to in-person worship, programming, and daily operations. How wonderful it was to walk through the front door here and see a human sitting at the welcome desk, and you could speak to them, and it was absolutely wonderful. Thank you to everybody that was involved in thoughtfully, respectfully, and carefully allowing us to return to in-person worship, programming, and daily operations. Live stream offerings. What an absolute gift that is to be able to worship anywhere. You could be hiking the Appalachian Trail, and if you have connections to the internet, you can worship with us in the glory of God's nature, and it is absolutely wonderful. We gathered in Christian community to celebrate the life of our beloved Right Reverend Peter Lee, and that was such a moving experience, even though, anyway, it was very moving. And then we had new opportunities in ministry. We said farewell to our good friend, Reverend Noah Van Neal, who moved on to Norfolk. And we said farewell to Philip, who went to St. John's Episcopal Church in Wake Forest. All rebirth and new opportunities for ministry. And that is wonderful in the life of a cleric. I would also be remiss if we are very much looking forward to the upcoming sabbatical of our rector. So this will allow for refreshment and rebirth, however you choose to. There we go. Not giving birth. I like that. We are excited and are happily in support of that. So, and as noted, we welcome the gifts and talents of our new incoming vestry. So, Anita, Catherine, Alan, Faith, welcome. We are so looking forward to working with you as you embark on your new vestry adventure. It's almost like a new school year. So just moving on quickly to the financial positions. In the interest of time, I won't go into these in great detail. We did have a detailed presentation last week, and if there are questions that maybe weren't answered last week, we can certainly forward those on to Sabrina and Jess. They could not be here today, but we'll just touch on some of the financial highlights here quickly. One thing that I had called out last week was the successful fall campaign. So our annual fund, our annual drive, what that does is it drives daily operations, and we were able to go ahead and pass a balanced budget for that. We don't like to operate in a deficit model going forward. So our financial position, you'll see, we do have a very strong cash position. And like most of our investments, we did see a decrease over the last year. We really hope that we'll see that head in the other direction soon, but that's not a surprise as we look at that financial position. As far as operating budget for revenue, thank you for your support. Your parishioners' support is what really drives the revenue that we collectively can use to drive daily operations, outreach, and programming. And that's noted here. And then expenses are outlined there as well. And again, if there are any questions, if we have time at the end, we'll certainly try and address questions in regards to this. But also, if there are any questions, email Sabrina Olson, who's a treasurer, or Diane McComey, who can also help answer those questions as well. All right. So with that, I will pass it on. Oh, that's you.
We can leave it there. So as Roman mentioned, there's a YouTube you can go back to and watch as many times as you would like that go through in great detail each of the financial slides from last week. So I want to start with just gratitude that we get to be together, that we get to worship God, that we get to serve out in the world, and that action and service is part of our transformation. Thank you, as Roman said, to our outgoing vestry class. I've never had sequential letters in the alphabet quite like that of C, D, E, and F, nor have I had a vestry class who has served during COVID for 3 years. Boy, that was a heck of a time to be in spiritual leadership. So thank you to you all. I'm really grateful. And also, thank you to our wardens, Roman Perrin, Harriet Pigram. Week by week by week, these lay leaders are carrying forward the work of the church and circling back and carrying forward and circling back. And there are so many quiet touches and acts of service that aren't seen publicly, but help weave together the fiber of the parish. So thank you for that. Thank you to our treasurer, our senior associate treasurer, Barney Varner, our chancellor, Eugene Doschert. We don't usually have the privilege to recognize too many retirements here, but there are 2 lay folks retiring from ministries that I feel like deserve a special shout out today. One is Robert Wright, who is ending some 40 years, like concurrent with my lifetime, Robert has been training acolytes in this place. And so I have, Robert, you don't need to open it now, but I will bring it to you, a gift for Robert, and some of what I hope will, thank you, some of what I hope it will remind you of. There's a way in which in that item I am reminded of being drawn back to the heart of Jesus. And that is what I believe that the liturgy does for us, and what you have done over decades of helping teenagers cultivate those liturgical principles in their bodies. It's them knowing how in the liturgy to be drawn back to the heart of God. So thank you very much for your ministry. And if anyone parents small children, you may have heard them ask about like unicorns. Are they real? Do they exist? Yes, they do. And they exist in people like Nancy Kelly. So Nancy Kelly, I present you with this very special novelty unicorn pen for all of the vestry minutes that you have taken. I know very, very few priests who have gone to 30 years of vestry meetings, right? Most priests get ordained at a time where they don't make it that far. Nancy, thank you. We're incredibly grateful. Our parishioner engagement has just been vital in the fabric of our community. And it looks like the care of a fellow parishioner, having an idea for a way to serve and taking the initiative to bring it to fruition, to bring it to bear. It looks like serving on a Sunday, serving at the IFC on your cook team, writing a note to a parishioner you haven't seen in a while, picking up the phone and calling them. There are all these things that happen inside, and then there are all those ways in which we are transformed by our service in the world. For some of you, this comes in caregiving for family members or friends. Maybe you're on one of the new IFC cook teams. Maybe you've assisted in the ABC sale. You've helped us explore race and history, looking past and looking ahead. Maybe you were here in this space with E3 Camp, empowering through education, a STEAM camp for middle schoolers. I know I have been transformed by those relationships that have emerged out of E3 Camp in friendship with a St. Paul AME parishioner. And we realize there are all these stories of the ways in which people serve. They go out in the world and they come back to receive the sacrament, to be nourished, to then do it over again. So many stories. We want to hear them from you. So there is, this QR code will be many places. It's not just a one-time thing, but it will take you to a Google form where you're invited to share with us, where do you serve inside the parish? And where do you serve out in the world? And that is in part so that we can begin to tell the story of our impact as a body of Christ, of how we're being transformed and how we're supporting, rolling out kind of the edges of the kingdom of God in this place and in this time. And so you'll have several opportunities. If you pick up the beautiful floral covered Lent and Eastertide booklet, the QR code can be found there as well. So be on the lookout as we move through the coming year of hearing back perhaps a part of your story for where it is that you serve. Also thinking about serving and impact. Who remembers the You Are the Light capital campaign? Yes, you are the light. In part to remind us that we carry God's light out into the world. One of the provisions of that campaign was $100,000 that have now been fully received by the parish from your generosity, that is committed to work in the world that is catalytic, that is helping a program or a project come to fruition that might not be able to otherwise without just a little bit of support. And those dollars that we just received are now in a fund called the Seed Fund. That is quite biblical. You can think of it as a mustard seed, something tiny, a small gift, becoming, or think of the sower who went out to sow. And what is going to grow where? So I wanted you all to also think about this year, in the coming year, to be on the lookout for how we will tell stories about the work that your generosity is doing in the community through the Seed Fund. I'm also really excited that a pair of anonymous parishioners were so enthusiastic about this prospect of seeding small things, that those first sort of dollars for that crazy idea that's going to solve a problem in our community, that they've committed over the next decade another $100,000. So this is it's a tremendous gift for how we will live and work, act out our lives of discipleship and affect change in our community. So thank you. That is exciting. Thanks be to God for our tremendous staff team. Start scooching this way, staff team members. Jeff comes with his camera. Yay! We should clap and stand for them. Thank you. What a great gift to get to work with this team. And I had a couple questions that I wanted to give just everybody. So Diane's got a mic that she'll pass around to each of you. And you've got a hot minute to respond, quite literally. But just so that you all could get to hear the voices and see the faces of individuals who on a day-to-day basis are supporting the volunteers who are carrying out the operations of the parish. So Diane, you've been with us about a year. I don't know how long it feels. What have you learned about the community and your role?
Good morning, everybody. Well, like last year, I think I've really learned what a great, welcoming, encouraging, kind, generous congregation this is. You're also an awful lot of fun, and I've really enjoyed working with you all. My role is really varied, like all the staff here. We have all of us many responsibilities, so it really makes things interesting. From working, for example, with our technology vendor and other partners, to discussing the annual campaign with our chairs and stewardship committee. It's been great. And since I have you just a second, this is a quick commercial. We are upgrading our software, our church software, which is really exciting because
it's from the 1990s.
It's really old. Really old. So this will be happening in March. More to come on that. It's called Realm, and it'll have a new mobile app with it, our Church Life app. We will be discontinuing that. So that's very exciting. I think most of you have met Joe Rosemond, our part-time facilities manager, and his position was made possible through your support of annual operations, and he's been a great gift in addition to our staff. So thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here. I really feel like we're fulfilling the mission and ministry of the parish. Super excited about what lies ahead. So if I can help you, please contact me. So thank you.
Thank you, Diane. All right, Boykin, you get the mic next. What have been some of the greatest challenges and joys as you look out over the landscape of Christian formation in the last year?
They are the same. The joys and the challenges are the same. The unbridled enthusiasm with which children and families are coming back to in-person programs is wonderful. I will say in the last 3 years, children have not heard the words crisscross applesauce very often. As one kid said to me in Children's Chapel, "I just love to dance." And so we have been doing a lot of dancing. I like liturgical dance, but as I told the kids, a mosh pit is only fun if everybody wants to be in it. So we are trying to channel some of that enthusiasm and learn to worship again as an in-person community. One other thing, the Faith at Home formation we did over the last 3 years was really tremendous. I'm not saying that I did a good job, I did, but but the parents, the grandparents, the neighbors, these kids are coming back with a knowledge of the Bible that is incredible. I mean, this morning I said, "Who's heard of the Transfiguration?" And I learned that Moses and Elijah were there. These kids, they know. And so teaching them new things, that's a challenge and a really fun one.
Thank you. Keith, we'll let it be passed on to you. So welcome to the Chapel of the Cross and welcome to priesthood. Share a learning with us. What are you learning?
Yeah, so I've learned that part of being a priest is there's like the theoretical part. There's like, what does it actually mean? What does it mean to be a pastor, preacher, teacher? There's also very practical things that I've had to learn, like how do you hold your hands during the Eucharist? If you didn't know, there is something called the Priest's Handbook. Mary Cat lent me her copy, very helpful. But I found that actually, I think maybe the most important part of being a priest is contextual. It's where you land, and I land amongst all of you. And I think the learning that I have enjoyed the most, that's been the most important, has been the learning that I've been able to do here, starting to participate in the liturgy and getting to know people, going to choir on last week on Tuesday and getting to know the little ones, working with the ushers, working with the outreach committee. And I say this to folks at the door all the time, and I will continue to say it, and I say it to all of you now. I continue to love to get to know all of you. And so whether you're new here or you've been here a long time, just my email's on the website, come find me, I'll give you my card. I'd love to take you out for a coffee, take a walk, get to know you more, because that is it is a very important part of my priesthood. So, thank you.
Thank you. Moetu. So you are coming to the end of a 3-year curacy program. What is the time at Chapel of the Cross meant for you? What's the learning that's the takeaway?
The year is too short to know people and like, oh, I remember this person, yes. But I think that, for me, I think that's like in a system this big, a year is not enough. But a year, it's good enough. Better than no year. Right? Because I think there's something that is happening here that I would love any new priest to experience. Like, let me go this way first. Like, you don't find this in other parishes. That's the true nature of this place, that you work with people that love, that cares, and they do their work well, and they're encouraging you. So thank you so much for this team. You don't see this. Like you go to annual parish meetings, people are smiling and laughing. You don't get that often. I have been in church for too long to know that this is the most difficult part of the parish, because people have squabbles and they come up here, and people have disagreements, they come up in this. Look at you, your faces, you are smiling, you are laughing, you are enjoying what God is doing. Thank you. Continue to do that. You've got a great one there. That's all that I can say.
Thank you, Moetu. Let's pass that down to Mary Kat. So I think having served in university ministry myself, it's been fascinating watching university ministry, young adult ministry, graduate and professional ministry emerge out of the pandemic. What are you noticing?
So I have remarks.
Oh,
I want to say first, it is wonderful to walk with undergraduate students, particularly the current senior class at UNC, because we arrived at this campus at the same time. And our first year getting grounded here was interrupted by world events that have taken a few years to wade through. I'm grateful that they are still here, many of them, and that this continues to be a place of hospitality, succor, friendship, home-cooked meals once again, oh my gosh, mentorship, Sabbath, discipleship, and spiritual growth for our current and future students. This was a rich place when I arrived, and despite the time of not always being together, the ground has continued to grow and be fertile. Our Lilly grant-funded offerings continue to enrich what we are able to provide students here, including our speaker series, vocational internships, special events, and other things. Another grant-funded activity you may have heard a little bit about, I hope you'll hear more about it over the next year, is Christian Athletes Circles, which is an important initiative that's been funded by a church-wide grant from the Episcopal Office of Campus and Young Adult Ministry. It is the only LGBTQ plus affirming ministry for student athletes that exist at American colleges. I'm incredibly thankful for, We are not the only site. I'm incredibly grateful for the visionary leadership of Kelsey Davis in the Diocese of Western North Carolina, and for our colleagues at Wake Forest and Warren Wilson College, who knit together through this work to care for students with intersecting identities and with their faithful Christian allies, because even Christian students who do not identify as LGBTQ do not have a place where they can, as an athlete identity, carry their allyship with the LGBTQ plus community. Graduate students and young adults are also an important segment of our young adult population here. There are many folks in their 20s and 30s here who might be here for a season of learning and professional development, and those who are choosing to make this their church home. The common thread of age and stage of life means that some of these folks will be with us for just a short time, and others may be running for the vestry someday. Some of you may recall settling here in those early stages of your own professional and family lives. Companioning with young adults who are seeking to deepen their relationship with God and claim it for themselves has led to several baptisms and many active participants in our adult inquirers classes, which I have the wonderful joy of facilitating here, and lots of confirmations and receptions into the Episcopal tradition from other places, other traditions. This place is a fertile environment for those who are hungry for a place to bring their questions, their hopes, their experience of the sacred, their attraction to the sacraments, and be in a sincere and faithful community. It has been a powerful thing to witness and to be given the task to shepherd and tend these folks, while also caring for and serving for this entire community in my work as a priest in this place.
Thank you. Thank you. Ellen, we have, you do so many wonderful things that help to connect us. And I was reflecting, looking through the annual report, is something like without the choir, to pull off a Sunday morning, all the different volunteer slots, it's like 40, what was it, 42? 42. Takes a lot of people to make it happen. As we're emerging and you're re-engaging volunteers, what are you finding? And I'll give you this, where do we really need folks to serve?
Well, I will tell you, it looks like this. It is abundant. I mean, re-emerging from the pandemic we have had renewed interest and excitement about being here. I think 2 years away from one another, I think it really made us all realize how important this place is. In 2018, some of you may have participated, we gathered together here in the parish hall for 3 Sundays for a program called Invite, Welcome, and Connect. Several of the leaders are here, I know, and I think emerging from the pandemic, that is what I have seen. I have seen invitation, welcome, and connection. And I do have notes, not quite as organized as Mary Katz, but invitation looks like an invitation to join, for a newcomer to join cooking in the Good Sam's in the kitchen for Good Sam's, for meals for the homebound. Or inviting a friend to work the Welcome Center desk with you. Hey, would you like to do this? I think you'd be great here. Invitation has been families inviting other families to come to Children's Chapel. We have had a lot of that post-pandemic, and it's been great. Welcome are full teams of ushers greeting the newcomers and the newly back to churchers and the regulars at the door every Sunday. 42 liturgical volunteers each Sunday at the Chapel of the Cross. We have a fully staffed volunteer staff at the Welcome Center desk each week. So every person who comes through the parish house doors is greeted. And they come with lots of different needs. Some people just need a restroom, other people want to tour, other people want to find out about the church. So a trained staff team at the Welcome Center desk is very welcoming and not typical, I think. Our newcomers team writes handwritten notes to everyone all the names of our visitors. If we have their address, they get a handwritten note. And also all of those who inquire about the parish on the website, which with the new website that happened during the pandemic, it's really increased our interest level that we're hearing from people. And the return of the Funeral Guild. That was a hard one for the parish, I think, during the pandemic, the way we were able to hold funerals. We certainly held them, but not in the Chapel of the Cross fashion. So that has been a very welcome return. And I think connection has been our lay leaders, and some of you are out here in the congregation right now who have embraced technology to make sure our programming is available for those at home. It's not easy. We all get frustrated with Zoom, but thank you so much for making that happen. And I think Altar Guild members are working extra shifts to train new members. And connection is our families serving together as liturgical volunteers. I mean, how fun is that to see someone ushering and someone reading and someone in the choir all from the same family? And that's a huge connection for the parish. So I think rebuilding post-pandemic, I think we've got, I know we've got lots of gaps still. We always need ushers. We always need greeters. We've kind of changed the way we've done that. Keith's been great in training folks. We've had several training sessions. I know, not to steal yours, I know Mike is short of some adult volunteers with the youth program. And I think Altar Guild can always use volunteers. We've changed the way we've done that. Again, the pandemic let us let go of some things, so we're using our technology much better, I think, so making it easier for people to volunteer. So if you're interested, let me know, and I will sit down and have a cup of coffee with you, and we can talk about it. But post-pandemic, I think it's invite, welcome, connect on our part of Franklin Street. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. So, Ellen, as you pass the microphone to Jeff Crawford, who is our new communications manager, I will also put in a plug for if you would like to learn how to do the live stream, because you like to be able to watch the live stream, the way that the live stream happens is you. So,
And it's fun.
yes, and it's fun. You get to work with Jeff, which is fun. Jeff, you've been with us just about 6 months, which is hard to believe because you've added such valuable, vital strands of communication for us, most especially thinking about podcasting. How do you think about storytelling in church?
Well, I want to say how much of an honor it is to be here with you all in this role. And I think the storytelling, the events and programming that the staff and the committees put together makes it easy to tell stories. There's just such a rich variance of great events and deepening events and all kinds of things. And every event is a chance to tell a story and connect things with partners outside of the church. And so it's been great to learn the culture of all these events and a little bit of the partners that we're involved in, and I'm looking forward to doing that more. I think the podcast is a great opportunity to have a deeper, more prolonged discussion. It's kind of like another adult formation panel you can listen to on the go. So if you all haven't listened to the podcast, there are some special episodes, and we'll have a lot more this year. So as they come up in the emails, click the link and listen to them. There are unique opportunities, like when the Bishop of Whitby came to have a conversation with him that we couldn't have on a Sunday morning. That it's just a great opportunity. So,
Thank you. Thank you. Mike gets the mic. Mike, family and youth ministry, you all have been able to re-engage. You've been able to do things like take 63 people on a ski trip safely. What's a highlight?
It's been great. Thanks. So for 2.5 years, we met online and on the back terrace or in the courtyard, even on February days where it was 20 degrees. And my view of it was that we were building a bridge, but it was really hard to know what we were building a bridge to. I've always been pretty good at predicting what numbers and participation will look like, and I have been way off this year. It has been astonishing, the level of engagement that we've had on pretty much all fronts. You heard some of their enthusiasm coming off the elevator a minute ago, but our middle school Sunday school class is having conversations that are on levels that I've had with confirmation classes many years older. I see one of our leaders in the back nodding her head along. We're able to have full confirmation classes that engage in service activities so that we teach them not just what our faith says, but how we put it into practice. That's been so refreshing to get back into that. As you mentioned with the ski trip, we've had a level of participation that is setting records, at least as far as I know and as long as I've been here. Getting 63 people safely up and down a mountain was definitely a highlight. And there are several people in this room who helped make that happen, so thank you to all of you as well. One personal highlight for me is not actually youth involved, but an idea that came to me during the pandemic, and several wonderful parishioners have really helped do the heavy lifting to really get it going, is a small group for parents of adults called The Next Chapter. I see a few of you out there as well who've really taken that and run with it beyond what I possibly had envisioned. And that's something that means a lot to me. So I would say it's been a highlight to see it recently really start to bloom and grow and go in new places. And finally, thank you to our volunteers. And I do want to echo one more thank you to Robert Wright, who literally every day that I have been on this earth, Robert was shepherding the acolytes at Chapel of the Cross. He has shepherded the parents of some of our current acolytes. So thank you, Robert, for everything. And finally, if I can do one commercial like Diane did, we do have a pancake supper this Sunday that funds our... Tuesday, what am I talking about? I have small children at home. My brain doesn't always work.
this Tuesday that helps fund our Youth Mission Fund, which enables us to do a lot of good service work out in the world. So I hope that you're able to come and have a fun and delicious time. Thanks.
Okay, last but not least, Joe. I have a question for Dr. Joe, and then we have a little video highlight looking back, and then we'll be able to head to the 11:15. So, Joe, the Chorister program appears to be bursting at the seams. How do you run a program that has so many kids and youth and adults? Like, how does that work?
Volunteers. We have anywhere from 8 to 10 volunteers that make our music ministry happen every week. Just to give you a quick idea, on Tuesdays, starting at 4 o'clock, our 4 and 5-year-olds come for cherub choir. And then we have first and second graders who come after that, and third to sixth graders who come after them. And while one group is in the main rehearsal, another group is out receiving one-on-one music instruction. They're learning about music theory. They receive voice lessons one-on-one and in small groups. And then on Wednesdays, our older kids, grades 7 to 12, come, and also our adults. And so all this happens because of volunteers. I am but one person. I can only be in one place at a time. And it's really exciting, and we have over 50 children involved and over 50 adults. So thank you all.
Thank you. We'll see if I can make this looking back at our brightest and best. See if I can actually start it. Yes. Thank you to Jeff for putting that together for us, and our choir for the soundtrack. And just thank you all. It's time for the 11:15.